Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
The very group that has lied to you, has rewritten your history, has enslaved your parents, has eaten you up economically in every other kind of way, is the very group you go to validate reality. And to validate what is real. And to validate what is true. And you're foolish enough to think that they are the ultimate validators of what is real. And you're foolish enough to think that they are going to give you a definition that's going to get you out of your misery.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Images control self-esteem. Abraham Lincoln found out very early, when you have 300 slaves on a plantation and one master, it takes a lot of work. Why don't you let them go? But don't teach them who they are. Control their history. Control their images. Then you won't have to watch them.
To the doll that looks like you. Which one doesn't look like you?
That one.
Point to the doll that doesn't look like you.
Kenneth and Mamie Clark conducted what we call a doll test. They had African American children between the ages of 3 and 7 sit in front of a table, and they had dolls to choose from. One was a black doll, one was a white doll. And they were asked to identify positive or negative characteristics associated with one or two of the dolls. And they had the option to choose.
Point to the doll that you think looks nice. Why do you think that looks nice?
Because I like his skin color.
You don't even look at the black doll. She smiles at the white doll, but she just kind of glances at the black doll.
Which one do you think sort of the ugly doll? Which doll do you think looks like the bad doll? Why do you think that one looks like the bad doll?
Because black is a bad color.
Kids are on YouTube and they're watching all these movies, and you don't think that it's going to affect, but he sees black and he's relating that to bad people.
Point to the doll that you think looks bad. Why do you think that doll looks bad?
I don't know. It just scares me. I don't know.
They're simply overexposed to positive traits with white Americans and negative traits with African Americans for a variety of reasons. And that's what's coming out in these doll studies.
Which doll do you think looks bad? Why do you think that doll looks bad?
Because it doesn't have blue eyes.
It's like all the positives were about the white doll and nothing positive about the black doll. I think just seeing your own child so clearly having a preference for her dad is darker, her sister is darker, and I think this is really hurtful. I'm sorry. I'm just, I don't know, emotional about it.
63% of African American children prefer to play with the white doll as opposed to the black doll. We find these same results today. African American children associating negative traits with African American dolls and positive traits with white dolls.
That one's mean and that one's good.
Why do you think that that one looks mean?
Because he has black skin.
Well, I think we're gonna have to sit down and have a little talk with him. He needs to know that black isn't bad.
So many of the biases that form in our minds as children actually can last a lifetime. So you do have adults today that hold biases towards racial groups that form very early on, but are still playing out in a very real way, even though they may be 30, 40, 50 years old.
Which doll do you think looks bad? Point to the doll that you think is ugly. Which one looks like you?
in many cases, this is the bad doll, this is the nice doll. And so, remembering that they had said this is the bad doll, they now had to show the doll that looked like them. And it was particularly difficult for them. And some children, some black children, would do, and some chose the white doll that looked like them because couldn't embrace. After having said this is bad, not nice, they couldn't embrace it.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.